Hello?
Dave, Lord Sutch liked to sing songs about monsters, but do you know who else has a song about a monster?
Steve, it's 3 in the morning. I'm going back to bed.
That's right, us! Stay tuned until the end of the podcast, and you'll get to hear our song, Creature Feature, recorded live at Dr. Jack's Drinkery in Omaha, Nebraska. Included as part of our release on our new live double bootleg album, Live, Laugh, Love. The Alliterates, 2022 to 2024. Welcome back. Side 1, Side B, with Dave and Steve. I'm Steve.
And I'm Dave.
And we have our good friend Sean back.
Hi, everyone. We're all doing Dutch rudders.
Well, you know, you have to one-up Andrew, who made the last one that he was on X-rated by being naked for the whole podcast, so...
Yeah. Pull my arm a little bit faster, Steve.
I will once the music is playing. Right now, we're doing podcast stuff, so the Dutch rudder...
Faster.
Okay.
All right.
So, we've talked about this guy before. I think I brought him up, like a year or two ago, and we made fun of him for a little bit. But since then, I found a decently priced copy of this record. So, today, we will be taking a look at Lord Sutch and Heavy Friends, which came out in 1970 and features Lord Sutch on vocals.
Jimmy Page on guitar. Jeff Beck on guitar. I'm looking at the cover. Yeah. I was looking at the cover and you put it down. John Bonham on drums. And it just fell on the fucking ground.
I know. I was trying to look it up so I could...
And George Lucas on bass.
Richie Blackmore?
No, he's not on this one. But no, I was going to go more into Lord Sutch here.
Oh, probably Noel Redding, who was Jimi Hendrix's guitar player or bass player.
Yeah.
And Nicky Hopkins, I don't know who that is.
It's a session person.
He worked with everyone in Great Britain who you can name.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Beatles, Kinks, all that.
And it seems like Lord Sutch's thing is he was very good at making very famous friends. So
Were they heavy?
They were heavy, according to this.
Were they made of uranium?
Probably, since this was the nuclear age. So.
Ah.
So let's talk a bit about Lord Sutch.
Heavy metal.
We just watched a decent documentary about Lord Sutch. Were you guys familiar with him before?
No, I've heard you mention this album, and I thought it sounded weird. I'm also expecting to be vaguely defensive of it after I listen to it, but yeah.
I heard of... No, I haven't heard of him. I actually, when we were watching the documentary, there was a couple of songs. I'm like, I think I've heard that before. I don't know. I hadn't heard his most famous song. Do you want to talk Jack the Ripper?
Yeah. So
the little bits and pieces I heard in the documentary, it reminded me of music that I do listen to, though. Like early Kinks, early Who, the Sonics, the Trogs, stuff like that.
It sounded very punky because he was screaming and people were like not knowing how to take it, and he had the white makeup on and looked like a fucking misfit almost.
Yeah. Electric Prunes, 13th Floor Elevators, like the early kind of psychedelic bands is what it sounded like to me.
Well, since people in the 70s thought that the guys in Kiss looked evil, I can't imagine what people in 1960s Britain thought of this guy. I wasn't familiar with this guy at all. In fact, I thought he was just kind of a blip on the radar even after I discovered this album, but after watching that documentary and looking a bit more into him, it sounds like he was a pretty big regional force, at least in the UK music scene, being able to gather together all these musicians that we've already mentioned. And I guess he also had a big influence on the early British shock rock scene. According to Wikipedia, his horror-themed stage show predated Arthur Brown and Alice Cooper.
Yeah, it said Alice Cooper was a bit influenced by him. There's this other guy named Screaming Jay Hawkins.
Yeah, I was about to mention him. And
in
the 60s, he's changed his stage name specifically to reference Screaming Jay Hawkins.
Oh,
Hawkins
okay.
was doing that kind of stuff first.
Yeah, he did the I put a spell on you.
Yeah.
My favorite Screamin' Jay Hawkins song is Constipation Blues.
I feel that too much.
I love Screaming Jay Hawkins. He's great.
He's amazing.
Yeah. But he did the whole shtick where he did like he was a voodoo guy and he'd have skulls and he'd have like that fake bone through the nose.
Yeah, and then like the leopard skin cape.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and obviously a giant influence on this guy. After he discovered Screaming Jay Hawkins, he changed his stage name to Screaming Lord Sutch, 3rd Earl of Harrow. Do you guys think he's actually a lord?
If he changed his name to that, probably not.
No, he is not a lord or an earl.
There's a stuffiness to any titled gentry in Britain. They, you can interact with some of these freaks on Twitter if you really want to, because they're on there. But there's just a sense of decorum that I can't see anyone who was raised in that environment doing something like this.
Yeah, he probably been ostracized by his people or whatever.
Yeah, and based on what we saw in that documentary, it sounded like he was more of a, I don't know, for lack of a better word, progressive type candidate.
Yeah, it talked about his political party some in that documentary where it was passport, there's serious stuff allowing 18-year-olds to vote, which is cool. But passports for pets and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of gave me a very Vermin Supreme vibe, which this podcast endorses Vermin Supreme.
Yes.
Or Jello Biafra.
Yeah.
When he ran for mayor of San Francisco. He
Could you
got
imagine?
fourth. He got fourth place.
Could you imagine what would have happened if he would have won?
Oh, man. Because he wanted to build a statue of some dude. I can't remember.
Yeah.
And he wanted to do away with infrastructure.
Yeah.
We'll go into a bit to his political activities before we get into the album here. In the 60s, Sutch stood in parliamentary elections as a representative of the National Teenager Party.
With Jimmy Page in his band, that's disconcerting.
Well, maybe that's why he changed it to the official Monster Raving Loony Party later on in 1982. But yeah, it sounds like his gimmick seemed to be he liked to run in elections where he was unopposed. He ran in elections where the incumbent was unopposed, probably just to mess up their time. But
Incumbent, or you mean incumbent?
I've always said incumbent in my head, so incumbent, yes.
Incumbent, yeah.
It's probably because I've always read it like incubator.
Not everything is masturbation there, Steve.
Oh, everything is masturbation.
Especially
really boil it down to
politics. We'll pretend that's profound and not just random.
Oh, it's very profound. Everything we say on this podcast is incredibly profound. All right.
I just profounded my pants.
Well, thanks for sharing, Sean.
You're welcome.
Usually you do that in Starbucks.
There is a mental image for you guys. Thanks for letting me borrow your chair, Steve.
Oh, yeah, the captain's chair. It's the comfiest chair in the house. All right, so let's move on to this album. Before this album, he looked like he was releasing just a number of different singles, like we mentioned Jack the Ripper. Do you guys remember any of the other song titles they mentioned?
There's a Dracula one,
Dracula's Daughter.
Yeah.
And which the guy was like, "This is shit."
Yeah.
That was kind of funny. I was like, damn.
I like how they asked that one guy what they thought of his political aspirations. He's like, I don't think about him at all, or whatever.
Oh, yeah. And he said, I've heard some of his music. It's not good. In the British way, though. He was classy about it.
Yeah, that guy was definitely aristocracy, so I wouldn't expect him to have much in common with Lord Sutch and his heavy friends.
Yeah, but there was another guy that was just screaming in Lord Sutch's face, like, "You're ruining this country!"
Yeah, it was so funny.
And it's like Thatcher wasn't.
Yeah.
Well, she hadn't yet, but
No, it looked like the 80s. So
was that the 80s?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it would have been the Thatcher era.
Oh, well, you know.
And it said
know what?
she
Yeah, it
took
was.
some influence off of him during her time, too. Like some of his earlier policies he was trying to change.
Yeah. His political career almost seems more interesting than his music, but maybe that's just because Screamin' Jay Hawkins was already doing kind of the shock rock thing before this. But yeah.
Yeah, it seems to be, in the present day, a little more noteworthy than his music, which I hadn't heard a note of this until I was reading about this album. And the only reason it really came to my attention is because it's been described as, a reviewer in Rolling Stone put it, absolutely terrible, and lamented that the celebrated musicians involved were made to sound like foul parodies of themselves. This album was also named in a 1998 BBC poll as the worst album of all time, a status it also holds in Colin Larkin's all-time top 1,000 albums, 3rd edition from 2000, and from a number of other similar lists and polls and stuff that doesn't really matter in the scheme of things.
Yeah.
So you're saying it's a good album?
Yeah.
Well, we will see. I've listened to this a few times. I will hold my thoughts until we listen to it, but let's talk a bit about the musicians that were on this album. Many of the musicians had some misgivings upon this release, and they pretty much disowned it. They called it like demo quality, basically, and I guess it just kind of damaged his reputation in the community. And this isn't the only time he does this. He also releases a follow-up to this, also called Lord Sutch and Heavy Friends, but it's a live album called In the Hands of Jack the Ripper. And on that one, it's a live album, and a bunch of famous people play on it, and he released it without telling any of them that he was going to release it.
Wrecked.
So
Wow.
a bit of a theme, because he did that with this one too. I guess they
He didn't tell anybody who was releasing it? I mean, how could they not know that? They're on the fucking record.
I think they knew that they recorded the jam session, but I didn't think they knew that it was going to be put out there or anything like that. According to Jimmy Page, he just wanted to go down and have a laugh, play some old rock and roll, and according to him, the whole joke sort of reversed itself and became ugly. So,
Well, watching that documentary, like, Page played on a lot of those early singles too, so it's like, wouldn't he know what to expect? Or just when it got panned, was he trying to cover his ass?
oh, I'm almost certain he was just trying to cover his ass. Because
He's like, I'm in Led Zeppelin, and I do good stuff.
well, and he was also the producer on this, so
That's a... Oh,
yeah. So
Yeah.
he almost certainly knew this was coming out, and then when it was panned, he decided that he wanted nothing to do with it. So
Was he mad that he couldn't cover his mistakes with a billion overdubs?
probably. Although if he was the producer, I mean, wasn't that kind of his call?
Yeah.
Well, all right. So let's talk about side one here. Well, actually, let's talk about the cover here. Dave?
That's tacky as fuck.
Dave, describe the front and the back cover.
Okay, this looks like Austin Powers in his car. It's just this big old, like brick of a English car from like the late 60s, early 70s that has the Union Jack vomited all over it.
Just imagine the most British album cover you can think of, and it's not British enough.
That's exactly what I thought when I first saw that cover. Is it's the most British album cover I've ever seen. Hey, Dave, look at the name of the first track on side 2. Oh,
Or no, the second one, Union Jack car.
Yep.
Yeah, and then this lord on the front is like standing by this car with his flowing blonde locks and his frilly sleeves and collar and his waistcoat and red overcoat and like bandana something print bell bottoms and his pointy-toed boots. This is more British than if they just made the cover of the album Beans and Toast.
All right, let's
English breakfast.
Yes.
Sean, describe the back of the album.
It kind of looks like pictures that none of the people except for Lord Sutch knew were in it.
Just like the album itself.
Yeah, the picture with him and Jimmy Page in the it's four cornered, like 4 pictures, 4 cornered. Jimmy Page is like in the bottom right. Top right it looks like Noel Redding, and Lord Sutch is singing behind him. And then Jeff Beck and Lord Sutch in profile on the top left. And then it says their names. Okay. I didn't even notice that. Nicky Hopkins, who is the person I've never heard of, is actually posing. So he's the only one that probably knew that he was on the album. Do you want me to read off the personnel?
I'll do that.
I want to do it.
Oh, okay. You can go ahead and do it. Please, read off the personnel.
Personnel. Lord Sutch on vocals. Jimmy Page, lead guitar. Noel Redding, bass. There's a shocker. Jeff Beck, lead guitar. John Bonham, who's rhythm guitar? If they got, anyways.
There are no chords, just notes.
Yeah, just notes. John Bonham, drums. Nicky Hopkins, piano. Daniel Edwards, guitar, bass and guitar. Carlo Little, these are so English. Drums. Kent Henry, lead guitar. Martin Cole, bass. Rick Brown, bass. Bob Mettek, bass. Drums, sorry. And then produced by Jimmy Page, who was not on the album.
Oi, governor!
Oi, governor! Recorded at Mystic Studios, Hollywood, and Olympic Studios in London. Recording engineer was Tommy Cachetta. I've never heard of him. Have you?
No, not familiar.
Okay. And he also did the engineering along with Brad Pinkstaff. I swear that's his name, and I was not trying to make a dick reference.
I wonder what his ancestor's job was.
Making sure the staffs were pink.
Polishing the rods.
I'm great at that job.
The cover photo was by Baron Robbins, and he was not paid enough, I can tell you that. Backliner photos by Annette Del Zoppo. Probably like Annette Del Zeppelin, like Led Zeppelin. Anyways, sorry. Earl Leaf and Baron Robbins. Album design by Lord Sutch. There's a fucking surprise. And Edgar Blackney. No, it was just Lord Sutch. He just didn't want to make it sound like he did it himself.
I wonder if Lord Sutch and Tommy Wiseau would get along.
And did you know, fun fact, Lord Sutch uses Marshall amps. It says that right there.
Shocking.
Yeah, I am surprised. Atlantic Recording Corporation, printed in the U.S., whatever. So, yeah. Looks like someone pissed on this record. It was probably Lord Sutch.
I hope so. That would make it worth more.
Yeah, it was like the Kiss comic book where instead of putting blood in the ink, Lord Sutch just personally pissed on all pressings of this album. Just went to the factory and just let a stream rip. Like, oh, go now!
Oh, I drank a lot of water.
I had too many pints of bitter.
Thank you, Lord Sutch, for trickling down upon us.
That's how Margaret Thatcher figured out neoliberal economics. Was Lord Sutch just pissing on everything.
Need a lozenge there, dude. All right, so we got 6 songs on side 1.
Woo! Short songs.
No.
Well, they're all about 2 minutes, and the longest one is 3 minutes and 18 seconds. So,
ooh, punk rock.
yeah,
Right.
it'll be better than the Ace Frehley album, just for that.
I think if he just farted on the whole album, it'd be better than the Ace Frehley album. Oh wait, as positive thoughts. Ace Frehley sucks. I mean, it's great.
All right, so we got Wailing Sounds, and that features a lineup of Lord Sutch, Page, Edwards, and Bonham. 'Cause I Love You featuring
I Love You.
Lord Sutch, Page, Edwards, and Bonham. Flashing Lights, which feature that same lineup. Gutty Guitar, which features Lord Sutch, Beck, Hopkins, Brown, and Little. Would You Believe, which just says Lord Sutch and Heavy Friends, so I'm not sure which of his heavy friends are being heavy on this track. And Smoke and Fire,
musicians.
which features Lord Sutch, Henry, Edwards, Cole, and Metke. So, yeah, we got 3 Jimmy Page and John Bonham songs, and a Jeff Beck song, and some session musicians to look forward to on this side. What do you guys think? Do you guys think you're gonna enjoy this side?
I honestly think it's probably not as bad as everyone's making it out to be. Like I'm ready. I'm ready to find some joy in it to piss off the British.
I don't know, man.
We'll see.
Like, it's one of those things. Like, it sounds good on paper, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna suck.
All right. Well, we're gonna throw it on. We'll see. Catch you on the other side.
Hello?
Sean, old buddy, how's it going?
Steve, I'm gonna have to call you back. I'm polishing my rods.
Well, I'll definitely have to let you get back to that. But first, I just wanted to let you know that our band, The Alliterates, has a new release out called Live, Laugh, Love. The Alliterates, 2022 to 2024. Now available on Bandcamp.
Okay, love ya. Bye.
The cat doesn't want to be on the podcast.
Well, maybe I want her to be on the podcast.
And we're back.
And we are back from side one. Sean, what'd you think of side one?
Actually, I'm fucking shocked. I actually liked it. I thought, well, okay, I'm shocked because from what you were saying before, people were saying this is the worst album ever made. And it didn't sound like the worst album ever made. I've heard shit worse than this.
Oh, there are plenty of better candidates for that, I'd say.
I've heard contemporary shit to this that's much worse. Like I thought it was a good album.
A good half.
Yeah, a good half. Like at worst it was fine. At best it was pretty good. Like I've heard better from this era, but I've certainly heard much worse, and I enjoyed it.
It did sound. I can imagine in the 70s, like especially 1970, it would have sounded a bit dated because it did sound 60s-ish.
Yeah, it definitely had a lot of that like 60s psychedelic vibe, especially in the later half of the first half.
Yeah, so like people might have been like, well, this is like dated. This is almost like this is so 3 years ago, back when it came out.
Oh, I could definitely see people feeling that way about it.
It had my favorite drum sound, which is the same like drum sound of like the Kinks' first 2 albums and their early singles. Like I think as recording equipment got better, drums started to sound too clean, but this had it at a time when that drum sound wasn't around anymore, so that made me happy.
I think you were saying something like you thought that you could tell like the mics were like older or like just not. It wasn't like the cleanest mics that they had.
Yeah, according to production notes and whatnot, a lot of I don't know if production notes said this or if contemporary reviews said this, but a lot of people noted that the tracks were kind of demo quality. And I could certainly hear demo quality, especially on some of those lead guitar tracks in 'Cause I Love You. They sounded lo-fi, but to me that's not really a negative.
It sounded like scuzzy garage rock, which I love scuzzy garage rock.
Well, it's like he influenced Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
Alice Cooper is scuzzy garage rock. At least he was after this album came out.
And I can see how he influenced punk. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like going down the list, like Wailing Sounds, the first song, it reminded me of like early Zeppelin, actually like kind of like Communication Breakdown almost.
Yeah.
Which Communication Breakdown's almost like a punk song. It's like dun, 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 dun.
I thought it did a really good job of opening the album, and it kind of set you up for what to expect for the rest of the side.
Yeah, and he's no crooner or anything, but his vocals were fine and they were interesting.
Yeah, they matched the music. Like, it wasn't on key all the time, but it was like in the kind of raw garage rock way. It sounded good with the instruments as they were played, and yeah, it was fine.
Well, and I think the biggest positive I have for Lord Sutch is he seems to have a ton of enthusiasm, and you can tell he's just having a blast, which really comes through, I think, in his performance.
Oh yeah, 'Cause I Love You, that one sounded like the Kinks.
Yeah,
It sounded like
You really got me.
you really got me, like dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
yeah,
That song predates this one, right?
Yes,
it does. Yeah,
So it just sounded like that, but I like the really heavy guitars in it, and the drum sound really good.
Mm-hmm.
Flashing Lights, not a great mix. However, it was raw sounding. It was very kicked ass, I thought.
it was probably my favorite song of the
First side.
first song of the favorite song of the first side. I thought the guitars were really interesting, kind of like that. Kind of droney type thing going with it too, and then like the really muscular bass, and then the drum fills. It was like a good high energy song, but was just like a little weirder than the previous ones. Yeah.
I really like the psychedelic vibe of that one. I could see somebody in, I don't know, 65, like, partying to that song.
Yeah.
Well, Gutty Guitar, that one was the one I was like, this is very 60s.
Oh, yeah.
And that
yeah.
that sounded like the Yardbirds. I said very 60s and very Jeff Beck. You can tell Jeff Beck's playing on that one.
Oh,
100%. But it sounded good. It just sounded like the Yardbirds a bit.
Yeah, I thought it had a fun, like, surf guitar vibe to it.
Yeah, I liked it. Would You Believe, that one sounded kind of... At first, I was like, this is kind of generic sounding, but then it did a weird thing, and I liked it, and it was, like, 10 times better. Like, it kicked into, like, a better song, and it only went back to that generic sounding kind of, like, towards almost the end. So, yeah, I liked that one.
What I liked about that one is it reminded me a lot of Syd Barrett, his style of writing, or even the Beatles, but admittedly less whimsical than either of those, especially Syd, since he was super whimsical. At some point, I'm going to want to bring his solo albums in here because I know we all like Piper at the Gates of Dawn.
Yeah. Well, then there was a part where it got kind of like the guitars got a little more heavier and driving in that one that reminded me of an album that was a little bit before this one, but it reminded me a lot of like the Velvet Underground, like White Light, White Heat era.
Right, I could hear that. And then the last one, Smoke and Fire, I think it wasn't a bad song, but it seemed kind of disjointed, and it was kind of hard for me to focus on that one.
I actually wish, I think, because, back in the day, the album, like, placement of songs, I don't think he should have finished that side with that song. He should have finished it with something else.
Yeah.
The ending side song's supposed to make you want to flip it over.
Yeah.
And keep going, and that one did not really do that for me.
Yeah, it was that one was the one that I would say was just fine. Like it began stronger than it was in the middle or at the end, but it was just kind of kept going, and it felt like it ran out of ideas. It kind of lost steam. I guess the one that I would have probably put as the last track of this would have probably been Flashing Lights, because it was a little different and weird, and
Yeah. Well, and
that or Gutty Guitar, I think, would have been a good candidate for that spot too.
Yeah, Smoke and Fire was kind of, you could tell it was all the music. That was the one that was all session musicians.
Yeah, for sure.
It wasn't. There was nobody else playing on that one. Right? I think I'm right.
Looking at this, that looks correct.
Yeah, it looks like it's got Lord Sutch, Henry, Edwards, Cole, and Metcalfe.
Yep, that's the one that was all session musicians.
So was the one before that, Would You Believe?
Oh. Yeah, and kind of my two least favorite songs on that side.
Would You Believe had Jeff Beck, though?
No, Gutty Guitar had Jeff Beck.
Well, it just says
They
on
both
here.
did.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
It says on Would You Believe, on the album anyway. I know Dave's looking at the Wikipedia. It just says Lord Sutch / Heavy Friends. So, who all was on Would You Believe?
According to this, let me see. Oh, let's see, what track is it? 5? That one had Page and Beck.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Well, it was fine.
Yeah.
But it wasn't my favorite. So.
Yeah.
But it was better than Smoke and Fire, which
Yeah.
I thought was kind of the weakest link in the first side.
Yeah.
My only disappointment in this whole thing, other than just that last track not living up to the previous ones, was like seeing that documentary and knowing that the lyrics to the early singles were about like Dracula and Jack the Ripper and all that. I was hoping for more, like horror type songs, and there really weren't any. But it's fine. Like the songs were good. I just, I wanted a stabbing somewhere in there.
Maybe London, the one that's like London spelled out. It's not London, it's London.
Yes.
I like that side 2 has a track called Brightest Light, and we reviewed Paul Diano, who has Bright Lights, and Samson, who has Bright Lights, and Lord Sutch has Flashing Lights and Brightest Light. So he's already beaten out his British contemporaries on the light category there.
I was going to say, we got Baby Come Back.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that one, though. The Baby Come Back.
Maybe someday we'll do Kraftwerk and do Neon Lights.
Well, all right. Before we move on to side 2, I just want to point out something that cracked me up when I was looking at this. The most British album I have ever seen, printed in the USA.
Yeah. Importing is expensive. Why not just send the masters over and have it printed?
I think it's funny that it was
Well,
printed in the US. and that wouldn't
who
even
is
happen
the
now.
publisher? It's probably the U.S. printing for it.
It's a division of Atlantic Recording Corporation. So.
Atlantic is
Atlantic
American.
Records,
Yeah.
So what we got to look forward to here on side 2 is we got another 6 tracks. Again, they're on the shorter side. The longest one's 425. And we have Thumping Beat, which features Jimmy Page and Lord Sutch Super Hype.
A rapper.
Now they got a hype man.
Oh, there's 2 Lord Sutch Super Hype credits on this. Well, I'm looking forward to that. We got Union Jack Car, which obviously appeared on the front here. So that one,
I wonder where he got that. That's
I wonder how long he had the Union Jack Car. I wonder if it still exists today.
I hope he still has it. I hope he drives.
Is he
it
still
around.
alive?
No, he's not.
Oh.
We'll talk about that more in the final side. But One for You, Baby, which is just credited to Sutch, but it's got writing credits for Henry, Redding, Cole, and Metke. London, spelled out, which you'd already mentioned, features the same lineup. Brightest Light just says Lord Sutch and Heavy Friends. So that might be another one where we got a Beck and a Jimmy Page. And then to close it out, we got Baby Come Back, which features Page, Edwards, and Bonham on it. So, after hearing side 1, what hopes do you have for side 2?
I can already say it's going to be more English than the first side.
Yeah.
I mean, Union Jack Car is probably the most English song that's ever existed.
I don't know, London spelled out.
I'm expecting it'll be pretty much more of the same. Maybe a slight quality dip, but I'm also expecting it will definitely be better than this album's reputation is. So,
All right, flip it.
Hello?
Andrew!
Steve. The restraining order.
Oh, that expired last week. Anyway, I just wanted to let you know we have a new live release out called Live, Laugh, Love, The Alliterates 2022 to 2024. Now on our Bandcamp page, thealliterates.bandcamp.com. Go check it out.
Okay. I need to call my lawyer. Bye.
And we are back from side 2. So, going into this and reading the reception, Jimmy Page said, I just went down to have a laugh, play some old rock and roll, a bit of a send-up. the whole joke sort of reversed itself and became ugly. And to be honest, I actually think they succeeded in just making a record that's just playing some old rock and roll for a laugh, and it was a lot of fun in my opinion. What'd you guys think?
Yeah, this was I would call this a pretty good album, like a good listen. Like I wouldn't rate it among my top albums of the 70s or anything like that, but no, it was really good. I liked it. Funny thing is about Jimmy Page kind of disowning his work on that. You know, he was the producer, and any of the songs that he played guitar on, I noticed the lead guitar was a lot louder than it was on any of the ones that he didn't. So yeah, Jimmy, go ahead and disown it. Your fingerprints are all over it.
Yeah.
Honestly, better than I expected. I'm not saying that, oh man, this is now my new number one favorite album, but it was good.
I will probably listen to this again.
I would listen to it again too.
I would definitely call this a fun listen. It had a variety of different kind of sounds that were prevalent during the time. It had some just fun, stupid songs, and it had some really fun songs that just kind of make you want to get up and rock out. So
kind of like you said, it had a great energy.
Yeah.
Great energy.
I mean, as Dave said, I think Led Zeppelin have put out worse than this.
Yeah.
Under their name. So.
I said that.
Oh, did you say that?
I said that. Well, Dave agreed with me.
Yeah.
I'm messing with you, Dave.
Yeah. We both said it. I think you're the one that said it first. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. Doesn't matter.
Sounds very genius of me.
Yeah.
To go off the track list, Thumping Beat did sound a bit. Dave pointed this one out. It sounded like Birthday by the Beatles.
Yeah.
But it was good. Like, again, Page was back, and his lead was really loud on that one.
Yeah, I put in my notes that I liked the sweet guitar lick sound on that one.
Oh, yeah.
It definitely had his signature tone on that one. And that one had the kind of guitar lick that kind of like spikes my brain a bit in a good way. So that's what I really liked about that one. A really good way to open up the side.
Okay, and then I thought Union Jack Carr was going to be dumb.
I did too. And it was, but it kicked ass.
It was so good. It was a bluesy, like, driving riff, which is what you would think when you have a song that says car in the fucking title.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really embodies its title really well. And I put in my notes, I love how stupid and fun this one is.
Yeah, it wasn't my favorite song on the album, but it was probably the one I would most likely put on a road trip mix.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
It reminded me a bit of the Clash's Pink Cadillac.
Oh, yeah. Or a Brand New Cadillac?
Baby's gonna buy
New Cadillac.
I thought it was Pink Cadillac, but I may be wrong.
Well, it's fine. It's a cover anyway. So yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Well, I suck. One for your baby. One for you, baby.
I was kind of expecting that one to not be good, and it ended up being one of the better ones.
Yeah, that was
my favorite song on the album.
It was almost my favorite song of the album, but we'll get into which one was my favorite a little later. But yeah, that one was good. I really liked it. It was creepy. It was aggressive. The lyrics were kind of pathetic in a taking on a character way. Yeah, it was a really good song.
It was the Lord Sutch song you were looking for.
Yes, it was. It had like the lyrics being kind of like creepy and pathetic, though. Like gave it some real pathos, like some like there's like some real like yearning behind it, some real longing. It yeah, like the vocal delivery really sold it too. I think it was the kind of vocal delivery that he got in his more horror tinged singles early on, and it really worked for that one.
Yeah, I really like the bluesy stomp that one had, and what I really like out of British music typically.
Yeah.
London.
LONDON. ON.
On.
Great.
RAMONS. Yeah, anyway.
That was good.
I graduated college.
Twice.
That was my favorite song of the record. It was also like Union Jack Car. I was expecting it to be so stupid I would hate it, but it was so stupid that I loved it. It was a good song.
It was my second favorite, but yeah.
Yeah, I really like the swagger that one had, and I think we were saying that if Lemmy was familiar with Lord Sutch, and he almost had to have been. I mean, they had to have come across each other. It almost had like a Motorhead vibe to it in a little bit.
Yeah.
And then this is where it kind of falls off for all of us.
Yeah.
Brightest Light, I think you guys said had kind of a Stones vibe.
It was the Stones.
Yeah. I put hippie music, but,
yeah,
close.
It was the Stones, and then it would change at spots where it didn't make sense with the song, and it kind of changed too much, where it's just like you kind of need to sit with an idea and let it develop into this different part rather than just abruptly changing it.
It reminded me of mid-'60s Stones.
Yeah.
I remember it switched to a more energetic part that I really liked, but overall, yeah, I was pretty cold on that one.
And the ending kind of felt like it stopped when they ran out of ideas, and there was a way too short fade out at which point where it was
yeah,
just
none of us were
yeah.
expecting it.
Oh yeah, I was just like, well, that ended.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
okay.
that song's done.
It's the first song on the album that just didn't work for me at all. For the most part, because Smoke and Fire, I had issues with it, but as a whole, I liked it. This one, there were a few parts I liked, but as a whole, I didn't like it. If that makes sense.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And overall, I don't think there's anything on this album that I would skip if I was just sitting there and listening to it, on a CD or streaming or something. But
honestly, if I had put the song on my iPod and any of these songs came up in shuffle, I wouldn't skip it.
yeah. And then I thought the closer, Baby Come Back, was a really weird way to close the album out. I mean, it was a decent surf song that was totally a ripoff of.
Yeah, because Wipeout is a great surf song. So yeah, it was a good surf song because it was Wipeout, but breaking into You Really Got Me, which is another great song. It was two better songs.
So maybe we could look at it this way though. Maybe Lord Sutch was really ahead of his time, and he's like the people that combine songs together on YouTube, except in 1970.
He's like the guy who took the music from Call Me Maybe and put the lyrics from Head Like a Hole over it,
yes.
Which is my favorite mashup online. Look that up. It's called Call Me a Hole.
Anyway,
yeah. As a whole, I liked the album. There's like you said, Steve, near the end of when it stopped playing, there were 2.5 songs that didn't work on it, which is pretty good for a 12-song album. Yeah,
I mean, I would probably give this album. I mean, I don't really believe in grades or rating systems, but as a vague concept, I'd probably give this an A.
I give it like a B-.
I was gonna say B-. Yeah, I give it a B-.
It passes.
You know what?
It might the bare minimum.
It might be one of those albums that. Sorry, Dave. It might be one of those albums that you could listen to and it could raise the grade up because you've listened to it multiple times.
Oh yeah.
So you were a little bit knew what we were going into, but
yeah.
I would give it a solid B-.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it wasn't a C's Get Degrees album. It was better than that, but it wasn't this changes the way I think about music album either. So it was fun. I recommend this album. If you are listening to this, I recommend that you listen to this album.
Yeah, easy to find. You don't have to track down a vinyl copy like I did because I'm crazy, but it's on the Spotify's, and there's actually a follow-up to this where it's a live album, and while we were listening to this, I ordered it, so we can look forward to that in the future.
Nice. Stick it to the British music press and listen to this album.
Well, the same press slagged Black Sabbath off in reviews all the time, and they went on to become one of the most iconic bands of all time. So
yeah,
I mean, it's probably the same group of people that said that guitar music was on the way out when the Beatles were trying to get signed.
That was Decca Records, and then the Beatles got big. Guess who they signed?
Yeah.
The Rolling Stones,
Like we ain't making that mistake twice.
basically. And then the Beatles gave the Rolling Stones their first big hit.
Oh, did they? I think
Yeah.
I knew they wrote them a song. I didn't know it was their first big hit though.
It wasn't. They wrote it for themselves. They actually did record it. It's God, what was it? Oh fuck, I can't think of the name of the song. It was Everybody's Trying to Be My. No, that's not it.
I Want to Be Your Man.
Yeah, I Want to Be Your Man.
I wanna be your man.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
wanna
I want to be your man.
man.
No.
Sorry. I know.
It goes. I want to be your man. Dun, 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 dun. I want to be your man. Dun, 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 dun.
Nice.
Again, the Beatles are not here.
Yeah.
Everybody, I'm sorry. The Beatles are not here.
The
I know that was flawless.
The Stones started off as a cover band, interestingly enough, too. Like, their first couple albums were, like, all covers.
You know, back in that time period, that was pretty common. I remember being really surprised when I was looking into like Johnny Cash, and you look at the writing credits on like his first album, and like I don't know the statistics offhand, but I think like maybe he wrote 2 songs on it, and the rest are all covers. That just seemed to be really common in that time period.
Well, what they used to do is they used to think that musicians weren't songwriters. That was their philosophy.
Yeah.
So they would have musicians play songs that songwriters wrote. So Buddy Holly was kind of the one that changed a lot of that, because he was a songwriter who also recorded his own songs.
Yeah, when you put it that way, it makes sense. I tend to prefer
They thought
music.
it was 2 different professions.
Yeah, and I suppose that dynamic can work, but personally I prefer it when musicians are artistic. But
Yeah.
well, anyway, so that was Lord Sutch and Heavy Friends, an album that got a reputation for some reason that I don't quite understand, but it must have something to do with, you know, changing trends at the time, or maybe backstabby music press. I could see that.
Yeah.
Or-
It did honestly sound like an album that was after its time. Like the time that it should have came out in like 67, 68.
yeah.
And it felt like it had already passed that time sonically.
Be like if a new metal band was trying to come up in the middle of 2010 or something.
Yeah.
Well, we all recommend this album, and yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for listening. Catch you on the flip side.
Oh, do you have things to plug?
We have that. We've stopped putting that in at the end because we just.
Damn,
got that
I
in,
was
like,
going
the
to
post
say
video.
I have something to plug.
Oh, do you have? Okay, yeah. What would you like to plug?
My wife.
Time!
Side 1, Side B is a Floof Goof Studios production. Check us out on the interwebs by going to my website, killrockmusic.com. That's KILRAVOCK music.com. And there's a tab for Side 1, Side B. And additionally, you can check out me and Dave's projects, The Alliterates and Lucid Fugue, respectively. You can also check us out on Instagram at KillRockMusicSWS and Dave_Diction. Thank you.
Waka waka. Suck it. What's up?
Let's shut the fuck up.
We're gonna choke you.
My mouth is on fire.